Hey fasting fam, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Chelly, and on this channel I talk about losing weight and getting healthy using alternate day fasting. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing the tea on some of the top mistakes people make that stall their weight loss while doing ADF. So if you're new to ADF, you're just getting into it, or you're on the fence, I'm going to share some of the mistakes that can prevent you from not only losing weight, but seeing their health results you're expecting. And if you've been doing alternate day fasting for a couple weeks or a little while and you're a few months in and you're just not seeing the weight loss and the results you anticipated, stay tuned because you could be making some of these mistakes. I know I did. So let's fix them. First mistake. Jumping into alternate day fasting too soon. And I know it might be hard to hear. I know you might be, at your heaviest weight and you just want those pounds to come off quick, 20, 30 pounds, and you're looking for this thing. You've tried everything else and you're really hoping that if you just do ADF for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're just going to see, life-changing results and get that dream body just like that. I don't want to burst your bubble, but ADF is going to be something that you do, that you incorporate into your everyday life, along with healthy eating and healthy lifestyle modifications, and it becomes a way of life. So if you are jumping into ADF with the mindset that it's just going to magically, the fat is just going to melt off in, minutes, days, I don't want you to be disappointed. And I'm not here to be a negative Nancy. I'm a big supporter. I want to share what really works. I don't want to mislead. And I'm here to tell you that ADF has changed my life. I've lost so far 54 pounds and counting, but I've also made some mistakes along the way. And so I am just here to share those with you because I don't want you to approach alternate day fasting like it's just some fad diet that's going to be the magic cure. I'm not saying that if you have a strong mindset, you fasted before and now you're really certain and you have the lifestyle compatibility to make ADF, make that switch like that. I'm not saying that you can't do that. So I'm not saying that if you really have your strong why and you are committed to doing ADF, that you can't just say one day, okay, I'm going to just fast today out of the blue. It can be done, but I'm here to tell you how you can make it more sustainable and something that you can do without giving up. So before just starting ADF, what can you do? For instance, myself, I started at 242 pounds. I had a diet that was heavy in carbohydrates, heavy in the junk food, fast food, you name it. So personally, I used 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even a month leading up to ADF to educate myself, to learn about what alternate day fasting is, to, prepare my mind, first of all, because the mind is going to be, it can be your biggest friend or it can be your biggest enemy. So if you're going into alternate day fasting, like I said, it's just with this mindset that, okay, I'm going to do this diet for just a little bit. And then if I don't see what I'm hoping for, I'll quit and I'll do something else. Going into it with that mindset is like setting yourself up for failure. So you have to get the mind right and then the body will follow. So get your why. It has to be strong because some days are going to be tough, especially in the beginning. You might want to quit. You might not be used to being hungry. You might be used to eating every couple of hours. And so, that 4th and 5th and 6th hour, and God forbid, the 16th or 18th hour, and you haven't had any food, you might just be tempted. And so preparing yourself is going to be key. And not only having the mindset, but you can do real practical things every day in the couple of days or weeks leading up to fully jumping into alternate day fasting. You can use that time to prepare your body. So how can you do it? You can start with something like intermittent fasting, where you have a 8-hour eating window and a 16-hour fasting window. And then you can move on to something like 24, where you have 4 hours to eat. And usually you're going to be doing, healthy foods, maybe 2 meals a day. And then you fast for 20 hours. Then you can try a 24-hour or a 1-day fast. And then once you can do that, maybe you can incorporate fasting 2 days a week and then 3. And so eventually you will see that you are now ready for alternate day fasting. So I'm just sharing this with you because I don't want you to get started and then say, oh, alternate day fasting is not for me. I'm starving. I'm hurting my body because I have a little bit of a headache. I'm hungry and I just can't do it. You know what? ADF is not for me. I don't want that for you. So start slow, listen to your body, and gradually get into it. All right, next one. Another big mistake that you might be making if you're not seeing that weight loss that you hope for with alternate day fasting is you may be treating your feast days like a cheat day. Just because you haven't eaten the day before and now it's your time to refuel, you have to choose wisely what you put into your body. And I'm a huge advocate of healthy whole foods, staying away from as many packaged foods as possible, and of course junk foods, because on your refuel day, that's your time to get all the nutrients and vitamins that you missed out on the day before, to eat your healthy fats and your protein. It's not a time to say, oh wow, I didn't eat before and now I'm going to eat as much as I can. I'm going to binge, and then also have a scarcity mindset thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not going to eat tomorrow, so I better get in as much as possible. Your feast days is not the green light to load up on bad things, bad food, junk food, excess calories. Because while alternate day fasting can be like a surefire way to eat less by default, I mean, if you're not eating 3 days of the week, you're bound to take in less calories and see the fat loss and the weight loss over time. But if you are using your feast days as a time to, let's say, eat burgers, fries, pizza, a lot of junk, you'll be surprised how many calories you can take in if you're not eating the healthy whole foods. So if you have been doing alternate day fasting and that scale's not budging, one of the things could be you're overeating on your feast day. So you can track, use an app, you can write down things, and over time you'll learn to intuitively eat as you get into alternate day fasting. But starting right off the bat, keep a little log of what you're eating, or even if it's just a mental note, because let's say you are eating the junk or delicious, tasty sauces high in calories, and you notice that you're not losing weight. It could be that you've eaten 3,000, 4,000 calories on your feast day. So just fasting one day or 36 hours, if you've eaten, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 calories, and you're expecting that one day is going to just magically undo all of that harm that you did your body on your feast day, then sorry, but you're most likely mistaken. So although alternate day fasting is going to help you lose that weight, if you are overeating, it's like undoing all the hard work. So you don't need to give up on ADF. You just may need to be more, mindful of what you're putting into your body. Now, on the flip side, you're not eating enough could be another mistake you're making if you're not seeing that weight dropping off. And it's counterintuitive. So, okay, let's say you're alternate day fasting, and now on the days that you are to refuel and eat, you're not eating enough. So you're eating 900, 1100, 1,200, 1,300 calories. And again, we all have to figure out what calorie intake works for our bodies. Depends on your height, your total daily expenditure, your maintenance calories, essentially. So obviously someone that's huge or big and tall, weighs a lot, is not going to need the same amount of calories as someone that's 5'4" like me, or someone that's under 5 feet. So that's a given. But it's also necessary that you eat the right amount of calories on your feast days, because you are going to have to get through the fast day. So if you're not eating and you're, eating tiny little portions that are not giving you the calories and the fats and proteins and a little bit of the carbs that you do need on that feast day, it's going to feel miserable. It's going to feel impossible. Okay, so you're already fasting. If you are eating those healthy foods, then you can take in the calories. You don't have to try to do alternate day fasting and then restrict, because what you're going to find is on the days that you're fasting, you're going to be intensely hungry. You might have the mood swings. You might just feel like you can't do it. You are just going to be thinking about food. You might feel dizzy. You'll have a lot of symptoms that might make getting through alternate day fasting impossible. So eat on your fuel days. You don't have to be afraid of eating. If you're eating the right things, then fueling up is going to be a no-brainer for you, and it's going to help you get through your alternate day fast days. So don't be afraid to eat, just eat the right things. Another huge mistake that you could be making if you're not seeing the weight loss that you expect while alternate day fasting, and this is one that I made myself, is eating too many carbohydrates. Now, everyone's cultural diet, their bodies, the way they process the carbs is different. So if you grew up eating 3 and 4 bowls of rice a day, if you grew up eating, bread and butter for breakfast, and you don't have any problem with it, I'm jealous of you. But for me, I cannot eat that. It causes not only weight gain, but inflammation, especially if it's refined carbs like the white flour, the white rice, crackers and cookies and such. So if you have tried other changes and you realize that, hey, I'm retaining water, I look a little puffy. For me, in the case of me eating carbs, I have joint inflammation. So if you notice that you've been eating a lot of carbohydrates, you might want to scale it down a bit. So you might want to try eating a little less carbohydrates, and you can track this, because tracking is going to help you see how much you're actually putting in your body. And chances are, if you have a big hanging belly, if you have a lot of fat, poking out of every, crevice of your body, then you might be insulin resistant. So that means that you're not processing those sugars. The hormone insulin's not helping you to get that energy into the cells. Instead, you just have too much you're not using, and it's stored on your body as fat. So for those of us who are extremely overweight, have a lot of fat to lose, you might be insulin resistant, and eating more and more carbs is just hurting you. So if you are doing alternate day fasting and you still feel like you're constantly hungry, you're eating too much, and you're not seeing weight loss, eating too many carbohydrates could be the problem. So if you haven't seen it already, check out my video on keto and low carb diet. That's an excellent dietary approach that can help you see the weight loss you're looking for. And if you struggle with, tolerating the carbs like I know I do, you may consider eating under the 100 grams of carbs, if not much lower. And before we get into our next point, if you're watching this video and you've gotten some value so far, if you could do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, that just shows others that the video was worth watching. And if you're interested in joining the Fast Life family, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so that you'll be the first to know when I drop a new video. And lastly, check out the links in the description box where you can sign up for the weekly newsletter and get your free alternate day fasting guide, as well as join our private Facebook group community where you can connect with other ADFers who are serious about their health and wellness journey. All right, so now that that's out of the way, let's move on to our next. So the next one is stress. You may not be seeing the pounds drop off because you are highly stressed. And you may say, well, is that a mistake? And I'll tell you why it is. Because in most cases, we can choose where we place ourselves, in what situations, and what things we do to lower stress. I'll give you an example. I used to work night shift. I was chronically stressed. Not only was the job stressful, but I wasn't sleeping, and that'll be our next one. I was not getting enough sleep. I was chronically stressed, and as a consequence, my weight ballooned up to uncharted territory. And no matter what I did, I couldn't stick to any diet. I couldn't stick to a workout routine. I just could not do it. And so I had to choose to leave a job that paid well, was pretty respectable, but it wasn't for me because it kept my stress levels super high and I was not able to reach my health and wellness goals. So managing stress is going to be super important. So how does stress impact us in our weight loss? Well, when you're stressed, your hormone cortisol raises, and cortisol causes the release of insulin. Your insulin levels are now too high and it causes you to store fat. So it's just like a domino effect. So simple things you can do, and like me, it may be a major thing. You may have to make changes. Now, I'm not telling you go, quit your job or whatnot. But do those things that are going to align with your health goals. For me, it just happened to be leaving a particular role that just was not the right fit for me. So decrease your stress. You can do things like deep breathing. That's one of the easiest, free things that you can do. And I didn't used to believe in, and I'm like, deep breathing. But then I noticed, wow, I hardly ever take 5 minutes to just breathe in, breathe out. And it works wonders. It relaxes you and it lowers your blood pressure. All of it lowers your cortisol and your stress hormones. You can do a little walking, a little journaling, anything that's going to help decrease your stress level, whatever it is. Watch a TV, listen to a podcast, read a book, whatever it is. But getting that stress down is going to help you lose that weight, especially the belly fat, where we tend to store a lot of weight when we're stressed out. Getting your stress down is going to be a huge part of making ADF successful for you, because we all know when you're stressed out, what do the majority of us run and do? We go looking in our pantries and our refrigerators, we're emotionally eating. So that's going to be huge. Get that stress down if you want to see that weight loss with ADF as well. And I have to come back and add this part because it is so important, and I find that it's often overlooked. A top mistake that could be stopping you from losing weight is not getting enough sleep. Those 7 to 9 hours of sleep is going to help you. Another big mistake to avoid while doing ADF is being inconsistent. What does that mean? That means fasting one day and then it comes time for you to fast again. Let's say I fast on Monday and then here comes Wednesday and I end up eating, and now I say, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to eat Thursday and I'm not going to eat Friday as well because I'm going to double down because I messed up on my previous fast. So you're fasting one day and then the next time comes around and you're not. Then you're eating 2 days and fasting 2 days and eating one day, and then you're not completing your fast the other day. So your body is just all confused. It doesn't have a pattern. It doesn't know that, okay, I fast Monday, I fast Wednesday, I fast Friday. I eat Tuesday, I eat Thursday, I eat Saturday, Sunday. It has a rhythm. The body has consistency with your fast. Now, instead, your body is like, I don't know what to do. So being consistent not only helps you mentally because you know what to expect, it also helps your body. Your body is not, starved. It doesn't say, oh, wow, okay, I don't know when I'm next going to get food again. I better hang on to all the calories I can and pack them up and store them as fat. Your body becomes, accustomed to the rhythm, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever days you choose, whatever your fast days are. Your body becomes accustomed to not eating on those days and then eating on the other days. And you also build up that mental strength and get that system down for yourself on your feast and your fast days. So it just makes ADF a lot more sustainable for you. So don't set yourself up for failure. Then you won't be overcompensating. Get your system, get your rhythm, your pattern down for yourself, and stick to your feast days. I mean, if you're doing that coupled with all the other things, I have to say, I would just be shocked if ADF will not get you the weight loss you're looking for. So consistency is key. Another big mistake that I hope you guys avoid, don't fall prey to it, is making that scale your holy grail. That rhymed. That wasn't intentional. But seriously, you are more than those numbers on the scale. The scale is not a complete, indicator of your health status. So while it does provide some important data for us, the numbers are important. Don't make that number on the scale your everything. That number is just that. It's a number, and it doesn't tell you your overall health. You have to look at your body. You have to look at how you feel when you look in the mirror, when you go out for a walk, when you're climbing up the stairs, getting from point A to point B. How does your body feel? Do you have, pain when you're moving? Is it hard to breathe? Can you touch your toes? Can you do all the activities in your everyday life without becoming overexerted because you're carrying so much weight on your body? Is your shirt fitting a lot better? Are your pants fitting better? Is your bra, are you dropping bra sizes? Is your belly less bloated? So health is all of those things combined. It's the total picture. And not only that, but are you feeling better? With alternate day fasting, I know it improved my mood. So as you get healthy, you'll notice that you might have more energy. You might be more confident now because you're lighter and you feel good. So look at health as a total body and mind experience, not just you stepping on the scale. And I say this because I've been through it, and it's the reason why for so long I struggled to get my health on track. Just looking at those numbers on the scale. So let's say you fast one day and you thought you were going to lose 1 or 2 pounds in one day, and you don't see that. Or God forbid, the scale goes up. Now you throw in the towel because you're discouraged, and then you might say ADF is not working or it's not worth it. Okay, so 2 to 3 pounds, 4 pounds a week if you're incorporating things like a keto diet or low carb diet and you're starting at a heavier weight is more than possible. But 2-3 pounds a week, 10, 12 pounds a month, is incredible. Actually, it's incredible. And I give you these conservative numbers because I don't want you to be discouraged. Now, if you're starting at a heavier weight like I was, and if you're taller than me, I'm only 5'4", you might see even more results, even more weight loss because you're eating fewer calories. And with ADF, if you are not, taking in all the amount of calories that you need to sustain your body weight, you're going to see those rapid changes. You might see like 5 to 8 pounds lost just that first week or so doing alternate day fasting because your body has been so used to eating and now you're taking that away. So not only that, but then you'll lose the water weight because you're no longer having the salt and the foods in your diet and the carbs that retain water. So I just don't want you to look at that scale and think that you're not doing something right because you didn't lose the pounds that you thought you would lose in a day or a week's time. It's about consistency. And I know that with doing the alternate day fasting, you are going to see the results over time. Just give yourself some time to see them. And the last mistake to avoid is giving up too soon. Giving up too soon is a sure way to not be successful and see the weight loss and the health benefits, less inflammation, decreased hunger, decreased cravings, better mental clarity, all of these things, autophagy, especially if you're dealing with things like loose skin. Our body has the ability to process these things and improve our health through fasting. But if you are, saying, oh, I hit a weight loss plateau, or I didn't lose as much weight as I thought, or, I'm a little hungry and so I'm just going to give up. That's the surefire way that ADF is not going to work for you. So instead, try troubleshooting some of the mistakes we talked about. And if you feel as though you've troubleshooted and you're doing all the things correct and you're still not seeing weight loss with not eating 3 times a week, then something else might be internally going on with you. You might be at a stage of life where your hormones are thrown off. You might need to go in and get seen by your healthcare provider, get those lab tests, those blood tests, and see what is going on with you. Weight loss is not always a steady path up. Sometimes you lose more this week and then a little less the next week. Then you lose the same amount the next week. And then let's say next month you lose 2 pounds more. So maybe now you're at 10 pounds or 12 pounds a month, whereas before you only lost 8 or 10. So don't get discouraged, don't give up. And if you've been doing ADF for a while and you hit a plateau, you don't have to say, oh, it's now no longer working, or, fall off and go back to the old habits that kept you overweight. You might just need to troubleshoot and look at some of the mistakes we talked about. Maybe you are eating too many carbs. Maybe you're eating too many fats that you're not being able to now tap into your own fat stores and use that for energy. So troubleshoot and don't give up. It might be now that you're ready for an even longer fast. So that's also an option. So don't give up on ADF. Give it a chance to work for your body, troubleshoot some of the mistakes we talked about. And I think with consistency, you will see weight loss and you will see the health benefits that ADF can bring. Well, all right, fasting fam, that's a wrap for today. Hopefully you found the video helpful. If so, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you haven't already seen some of my other videos and you're interested in seeing my fast day routine, feast day routine, and how I even got started with ADF, check out some of my other videos. And until next time, stay strong, stay fasting, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.